Friends, a long time ago, we started a series called Stories with Shreya. I share a story in that same series. The title of the story is Where's the Time? So here we go. Once there was a boy named Rakshit who wanted to play all the time. His mother was tired of telling him to do his homework. Every evening after school, Rakshit would play until it grew dark. One morning, instead of going to school, Rakshit went to a nearby field. I hope I find someone to play with, he said to himself. Ah, there's a farmer. Good morning, uncle. Will you play with me? Asked Rakshit. Not now. I'm busy sowing seeds, replied the farmer. Can't you do that some other time? Said Rakshit. The farmer shook his head. The rainy season is coming, he explained, and I have to sow the seeds before that. If I am late, the seeds will not sprout. Then I will have no food. Rakshit looked around for someone else with whom he could play. Observing some black ants scurrying around, he said hopefully, Hello, would you like to play with me? Where's the time? We are collecting food for the rainy months, said the leader of the ants. But the rainy months are a long way off, said Rakshit. You can collect your food later. If we play now, we will not be able to collect enough. Come back when the rain starts, then we will play with you, said the ant leader. Next, Rakshit saw some bees. Bees, will you play with me? He pleaded. Sorry, we are busy collecting honey, said the bees, not pausing in their task as they spoke. The sun is shining. It's a day to play, Rakshit told the bees. It's on sunny days that the fields are full of flowers. If we don't collect nectar now, how will we fill our hives before the rains come? Asked the bees. Nobody knows how to have fun, Rakshit thought to himself. He played on his own until his stomach began to rumble. When Rakshit returned home, his mother scolded him. There are only few days left for your exams. Why don't you study? Rakshit, however, continued to waste time. When he got his results, his were the lowest marks in class. He ran home crying. I had no time to study. What could I do? He said to his mother. Rakshit's mother took him to the field. There, Rakshit saw the farmer, the ants, and the bees. They were enjoying the dark clouds and the cool breeze. Having finished their work on time, they were now having fun. I wish I followed their example, said Rakshit. If I had studied when I had to, I would have been happy today. You can do better next time, said Rakshit's mother. Make up your mind to start studying today for your next exams, which are not far away. Rakshit nodded. I've learned my lesson, Mummy. He said, Never again will all play and no work make me a dull boy. Thank you.
Well, the most important moment in the story is when Rakshit learns an important lesson in life. Rakshit committed a mistake, but through the mistake he learned an invaluable lesson. He became wiser for the mistake he committed. I'm very grateful to Shreya for selecting a very meaningful story. This story pertains to the importance of using our time properly and organizing our work well within the time frame or time limit prescribed for it. In the Indian culture, punctuality is not a particularly developed virtue or discipline. We take things in a very light-hearted manner. We don't realize the value of organizing ourselves properly. And those who do so come to regret sooner or later. Now, why should we be punctual? Why should we be mindful of the need to organize ourselves uh, to accomplish our tasks within time? There are 2, 3 reasons for this. First of all, if we don't do our work in time, we add to the tensions of others. Our parents will be all the time worried whether or not we have done our work. And our teachers will feel upset about our attitude to work. And our presence may even become a snag or a drag on the classroom. On the other hand, if we do our work properly, we add a lot of cheer to our domestic environment. We keep our parents happy. Our teachers become very fond of us, and we become a positive influence on the class. So it's a great thing to organize oneself and do whatever one has to do. Now, the important thing to remember here is whatever we have to do, only we can do. The choice, therefore, is not whether we should do it or not do it. We have to do it. The choice is between doing it in the right time or regretting about not having done it at the right time, as in the case of Rakshit. Rakshit wanted to enjoy himself, but as a consequence, he neglected his work, and when the examination came, he was completely ill-prepared, and therefore his results were atrocious. And it resulted in a lot of embarrassment for him, a lot of pain for his parents. But fortunately, Rakshit was good enough to learn the lesson of his life. Now, this story is very interesting because it tells us that everything in nature is very conscious of time. Maybe in nature, everything is programmed to happen according to time, and therefore, nothing in nature has a freedom of choice to decide whether this work should be done now or later. Now, for example, farmer who works in partnership with nature has to do his work at the right time. If he doesn't, then there will be no harvest. So you will find that the peasants, the farmers, are extremely conscious of their time. They know exactly when to sow the seed, they know when to water the plants, they know when to manure the plants, etc. They also know when to gather the harvest. So therefore, they prosper through the work that they do. Now, if the farmer says, well, I don't feel like doing my work today, I'll do something tomorrow. The simple point is that what you could not have done today, you will not be able to do tomorrow, because tomorrow has its own load of work. Okay? So the only sensible way of going about our work is to do every day's task within the same day. Otherwise, work keeps accumulating. For example, if you are a student, suppose there are 10 lessons to be learned over a period of 8 months. Okay? Now you say, well, let me play the first month. So what happens is that one complete lesson remains pending. And you say, well, next month I'll organize myself better. So I will study this month and the next month's work together. But next month comes, and again that laziness still remains with you. You'll say, oh, no, this month also let me enjoy myself. So 2 lessons out of 10 now remain undone. Now, when you come to the 3rd month, it is 1 plus 1 plus 1, 3 lessons now remain, which means your burden has increased. Now, obviously, because of that burden, you will not be able to do the 3rd month's work properly. So again, that's a problem. So this way, the work keeps on accumulating, and you reach a stage when you feel so completely helpless, because the work that has accumulated is so heavy, so much in quantity, that you feel you just can't do it. And that is how many children collapse. On the other hand, if you do your work regularly, everything gets done, and learning becomes light, enjoyable, and you feel encouraged with the daily progress that you make. So there are multiple gains in being punctual and well organized. Another important aspect of time is that it plays a very major role in forming your character and your personality. A person who does his or her work well in time becomes a strong character, and his or her personality becomes very dignified, respectable, etc. Okay? And you will see that look of confidence in the face of such children who organize themselves properly. So look at it in any way you want. Valuing your time, which also means that you organize your work within the time frame, is a very wise thing to do. Okay, so I'm very grateful to you for selecting this very meaningful story, and I hope that children who listen to you will learn the lesson, this important lesson. Okay, and they will benefit greatly from learning this lesson. Thank you. And I'm sure that the children of the world will be grateful to you.
Thank you.